God was showing me a fake rapture, a fake caught up in the heavens, which has nothing to do with Jesus Christ. And basically this vision, brothers and sisters, I saw spaceships, thousands of them all over the sky, and there was a massive destruction. The destruction was not caused by an earthquake, it was caused by an asteroid, brothers and sisters, hitting the earth. It was so terrible. And I remember myself and other brothers and sisters in the Lord were begging people, were running up and down the streets to and fro, saying to people, do not go in these spaceships. If you go, this is it for you. Do not go. This is not the rapture. This is not Jesus. Do not go. But some people listened and some wouldn't. The government was announcing that people should go into these spaceships. They were saying that they're here to help us. They call them good, friendly aliens, but we as children of God know them as the fallen angel. I am warning, guys. I am warning. My vision, people will say to me, oh, Sister Karen, when is your vision going to come to pass? The vision is for appointed time. It is for you to get ready, to prepare your hearts and your soul, because the things that is coming upon the world will be traumatic. We are literally brothers and sisters in the end of time. We haven't got much time left. We have not got much time left. But I know there will be a fake rapture that is coming and will fool many people, but you do not, under any circumstances, do not go in those spaceships.
I was inside. It was really dark outside. We knew, in the dream, we knew not to go outside. And I had looked out the window in this dream, and I saw this huge star. And I heard in my spirit, remember the star I told you about in the Christmas story? And I knew that it was a deception. So whatever this was, it was dark, and people were running into it and trying to get to it. And I knew in the dream to stay where I was, not to go outside. And so, but the star was pretty massive. I would say miles wide, and it was just above the tree lines. And I heard the Lord say, this is why I warn these things in my word. There is no light in them that accept not the love of the truth. And he said, think about the people who are sick and can't get to that star. My light will come to them, he said, for every eye shall see, no matter what, as far as the east is from the west.
This is on the CIA.gov website. What? And it was written 17 years ago. And this card game was made 25 years ago. All of these cards of the Illuminati card game will culminate in the appearance of Antichrist on the world scene to begin his global reign. Consistent with Bible prophecy, the birth of Antichrist on the world scene can only occur at the end of a global war. A war in which entire nations may be annihilated. This is prophecy, and this is the Illuminati plan. This planned Third World War is to be 3 wars: natural disasters and terrorism in our cities. These are the parts of this war. 1. Israel goes to war with her Arab neighbors. The American invasion of Iraq was planned in 1952 to be the trigger that causes Israel to go to war. 2. A confrontation on the Korean Peninsula that will threaten mankind's existence. This was written 17 years ago. and is on the CIA website. 3. China invades Taiwan. 4. As soon as the war between Israel and her Arab neighbors starts, terrorist attacks against selected cities of all industrial nations whose people still go to the polls will begin. New York City is planned to be destroyed by a terrorist nuclear device. 5. Natural disasters will occur. All these disasters are planned to have a devastating cumulative effect. People will be so panicked they will beg the governments to impose strict martial law and anything else that might restore order. This is where things get really interesting. Messiah will certainly control all individual personalities worldwide. All charismatic leaders of every nation on earth who command local audiences will come under the control of Antichrist. Some supernatural sound will be heard and spiritually felt by everybody on the plane simultaneously. At no other moment in world history will so many people be impacted at once, at the very same moment. Images of Antichrist will appear simultaneously all over the entire earth, speaking to mankind, each in his own language. The prophesied signs and wonders will have begun. They will rush after the beast to worship him with all their heart, mind, and soul.
Do you believe that a technology exists wherein speech can be encoded and transmitted via microwaves so that it can be heard inside the human skull without the use of a receiver? There have been recent advances in acoustic technology which can transmit sound great distances with a very narrow target range. The long-range acoustic device is one such technology and is currently employed by both military and commercial sea vessels to deter potential attackers.
It's kind of like radio stations, except in this case, you don't need a receiver. To hear a radio station, I got to have a receiver. With this, the mixing actually happens in the air, and you hear it without any other device. So if I aim it at you, and it happens to hit both of your ears, and I'm reluctant to say this, it'll be as though the sound is inside your head.
I was talking a little bit about mind control in particular, and something that I worked on that I'm not proud of, but it's called the voice of God weapon. So there are 4 different techniques and technologies that can pipe voices into an individual's head. And once you can do that, you can control them using neuro-linguistic programming.
We often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Now this is connecting a dot that all of you better listen to very carefully if it's the last thing you learn today. And that is that there is an overarching agenda that was hatched in the 50s. Remember that psychological warfare document and its value? That was hatched in between 53 and 56 to create the specter of a threat from outer space that does not exist. Wernher von Braun stated on his deathbed And we have the testimony of his assistant that and said they will first have the Cold War, then we decided there would be nations of concern, then global terrorism. We have this testimony from before 9/11. Then that would be followed by threats from outer space. They'll start talking about asteroids and things of this sort, but the ultimate one they're going to play is the alien threat.
We are literally brothers and sisters in the end of time. But I know there will be a fake rapture. But you do not, under any circumstances, do not go in those spaceships.